All right, good morning. The Committee on Parole, we are reconvening at Rayburn Correctional Center. July 26, 2023. It is 9:18 a.m. Good morning. With the staff there at Rayburn, introduce yourself for the record.
Keith Bickham, Deputy Warden.
Kristen Herbert, records.
Stacy Rao, classification.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and do some preliminaries while the folks here are trying to get in the room. Mr. Mandigo, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number, please, sir.
Anthony Mandigo, 325-803.
Mandigo. Okay, I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. Mr. Mandigo, my name is Cheryl Renatz. I'm serving as chair of today's parole panel. My colleagues on the panel, to my left is Mrs. Bonnie Jackson. To my right is Mr. Pete Freeman. You are represented by counsel this morning. I'd like to ask counsel to please introduce yourself for the record.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Catherine Jackie Bag-Kirk. I represent Mr. Anthony. I believe we have turned in a packet for him. I know it was a little bit late. We were struggling to get some of his certificates. So thank you very much for your consideration today.
Right. And let me acknowledge before we dive in, let me acknowledge the folks who've joined us today. We have Luana Davis, Shakira Walker, Steve Morgan, Brica Peoples, Oza Otis, Phil Calhoun, Terrence Wynn, Darren Shivers, Kerry Thompson, Jackie McGee, Tracy Smith, and Ruby Stacy. And for those who will be speaking on your behalf, we'll call on them at the appropriate time, Mr. Mandigo. First, I'll read some identifying information into the record. We'll conduct a parole interview with you. Mr. Freeman will take the lead on that. After we hear from the warden, we'll hear from the folks that have indicated they'd like to speak. We'll ask you for your statement, and then we're going to turn it over to Ms. Burke to close it out for us. Okay? All right, Mr. Mandigo, you are classified as a fourth felony offender. You're currently serving a 25-year sentence for possession of marijuana. This is all in Caddo Parish. Possession of marijuana, possession of cocaine, manufacturing cocaine, possession with intent to distribute cocaine. Your parole eligibility date was October 16, 2019. You have a good time date of November 9th, 2032. Does that information sound correct? That sound correct? Okay.
Yes,
Would you answer Mr. Freeman's questions, please?
Okay, Mr. Mandigo, how old are you?
more than 9 years old.
Okay. And how long have you served on this charge?
15 years and 4 months.
And that's on a 25-year sentence, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have a ton of drug charges. Were you a user, dealer, or both?
I was both.
Okay. Have you ever received any treatment for your drug charge, for your drug problem?
Yes, sir. NAAA, drug program in Angola, substance abuse.
Okay.
Mr. Freeman, the AANA was not on there. He just finished it first of this month. But he did finish the class here.
Thank you, Warden Bickham. Have you ever taken Living in Balance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did you learn from Living in Balance?
Living balance, I learned that the way I think of what I'm gonna do, my movements, or how life is about life. That's what I can remember at that time. It was like 7 years ago. It was
Correct.
been a long time since I took that class right there, though.
I see you were taking your GED. Did you get your GED?
No, sir. I'm still in school. I'm a slow learner.
Okay.
I'm
How much
still in
longer
school.
do you think it'll take you to get it?
Can't really say because I've been going up and down.
Yeah.
In the subjects that I'm taking. I've been going up and down. Like I said, I'm a slow learner. I catch on slow, but I never gave up. I stayed in school. I go every day Every time is a print, I go.
Okay. Looking at your supervision record, I think you were released, 2, maybe 3 times under supervision. Every time you did well and it expired normally. So you do well when you're on the streets and you're under supervision. Tell me why I should believe you're not gonna go back to using and selling drugs when you get out.
Cause I have learned selling drugs that I know I was doing something wrong that I thought was right. I know I destroyed a lot of families, my victims. I understand the things that I was doing that wasn't right when I thought it was right. But I'm not gonna do that thing there no more. I wanna go deal with the youngsters, the youths. I wanna be able to turn their life around and help them and show them what life is about. And give them experience of what I done been through, because I wasn't eligible for parole. I had a life sentence. I get a life back and got 40, get a 40 back, got 25. I want to thank God for that. And I have learned my lesson. And my family, you know, I have support, but I don't see me falling in that. I will go talk to somebody, sponsor,
Good.
pastor, somebody gonna help me.
Okay, do you consider yourself a drug addict?
I consider myself as a recovering addict. I
Okay,
have recovered.
all right. Looking at law enforcement, the judges opposed. You had a big fine. I think it's $250,000, somewhere up in there fine.
Yes, sir.
But that's not our concern. District attorney is opposed, the sheriff is opposed. The chief is opposed. Your family is unopposed. You can tell by how much support you have here today. Where are you gonna live? Where are you gonna work if you get out?
Gonna live with my mother, Miss Callie Mae. And I have a job, 2 jobs lined up. Baby's brother lawn care service. And B&M Transit Express.
Okay, what's gonna be your sobriety plan? What are you gonna do to stay sober when you get out?
Gonna stay from around people, gonna deal with my family. And if I feel like I'm falling, I'm gonna get help. I don't see it though, because what I've been through in my life is a lot.
Okay, Mr. Mandigo, you have 10 kids?
I have 12 kids.
Well,
3 have popped up since I've been in jail. So it's 15.
3 what now since you've been in jail?
15 years and 4 months. But since I've been in jail, 3 more have popped up that I just found out about.
Oh, I got you. Now I understand. Do you have contact with the kids?
Yes, sir. I have contact with every last one of them.
Every last one of them. Okay, that's good. You need to keep that up. I'm looking at your disciplinary history. You have a lot of contrabands from 2011 all the way to 2020. What were the contraband?
Cell phones and marijuana. Georgia cell phones.
When was the last marijuana?
20 September 2020, I think. That was the cell phone and the weed.
And okay, you have a moderate need, a low risk, medium custody. Do you do any community service around the prison?
I can.
No, I was just wondering, do you belong to any clubs?
No, sir. At Angola, I used to be in the clubs. Angola. When I was in Angola.
Okay, you have lots of letters of support. As your lawyer stated, she submitted a history on you. It was late, but I did get to read it this morning. And I understand she said she couldn't get some of the stuff that she needed. Warden, what can you tell me about Mr. Mandigo?
He came to us in March of last year. He's got a duty status, but he's been in school pretty much the whole time he's been here. So he hadn't had a job, he's been in school.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Thank you. So the duty status, Mr. Mandigo, what is the duty status? Limited duty?
Light duty, no prolonged walking, no bending, no lifting over 30 pounds, 20 pounds.
Is that permanent?
Yes, ma'am. I was born with sickle cell. And
Okay.
that's why I
Okay.
have.
So that would not prevent you from doing whatever the job opportunities that you mentioned earlier, the lawn care or the others?
I just can't do nothing too heavy and too long. Just the little job that they offer me right now, I can handle those. Cutting grass, I can do that. Cutting
Okay.
grass.
All right, that's all I needed. So we're going to hear from the folks that want to speak on your behalf. First, we'd like to hear from your sister, Ms. Brika Peoples. If I speak.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you have another device going?
Let me see. I did. I was looking on YouTube too. So can you hear me good now?
Yeah, disconnect the YouTube because then we get an echo if you have it. We're good.
Okay. Good morning, Louisiana Board Important. My name is Brika Peoples. I am the state organizer and also a state activist. I'm also the sister of Anthony Mandigo. Our goal is to bring my brother home back into society so he can be hands-on and change the community. I know he would be a great asset to the community because he helping with change through the inside of the jail. I know Mr. Freeman, Mr. Pete, he mentioned about GED. I partner up with Compassion for Lives that helps with inmates recovering and whatever they need, GED training, job skill training. Carla Budden is side by side with me, helping with Compassion for Lives, and we are gonna get him enrolled and getting his GED. For the last 3 years, my brother been helping me with conflict resolution through inside of the jail. So when he say that he want to help with the kids, he already helping with the kids. I do want to mention what happened 2 years ago at Southwood High School. We had a big fight of 40 kids, 50 kids got arrested. The next day, me and a team of people went door knocking because we know crime in the schools will end up crime on the streets. So in the midst of that, my brother called me from jail while I was talking to a young man. And that right there ended, he talked to a lot of them that day, ended the robbery at Southwood. So them 2 weeks, we have no shooting, no fighting, no nothing. Our kids, they want to see somebody that they can relate to. And by him telling them what's going on inside the jail, it's changing. Our community is changing. I know my brother made bad decisions 15 years ago, but I see the change in him and we need him in our community. I need him in my community because I'm telling you, this battle in Shreveport in Northwest Louisiana, it's hard. It's hard. And it's hard, reprogramming the people, even the parents, some of the parents, they listen, like, tell your son to sit down and they do it. So, I mean, I'm very disturbed that our DA, our chief of police, and our sheriff, oppose of that when they know that I called him to stop this stuff. And he stopped because they listened. Before he went to jail, they was doing music. Everybody wanted to do music. It wasn't any beef in the community. But when he went to jail, everything went into chaos. I understand that the decisions was bad with the drugs, but violent crime, he wasn't a violent criminal. And he stopped a lot of stuff in the community. And I sure do appreciate this. I'm honored to be on this call, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for the work that you're doing. We
Thank
appreciate it. Okay, Terrence Wynn.
Good morning. Thank y'all for having me. Anthony is a person I knew before incarceration. He was a person I knew during incarceration. We was together. I think Anthony came in 2010. I left in 2020, so we did a 10-year stretch together in prison, which we was together every day. There's an old adage that says, "With age comes wisdom." Mandigo has displayed that wisdom because he is a guy that he never glorified the bad decisions he made, which in the Black community, we glorify drug dealers that succeeds. They show successes by material gain. He had all that, but he had it from a legitimate source, although he made bad choices with drugs. My organization, Pipes, our arms are extended to him. We are all here on behalf of him. And what we do in our community is stop situations from happening. He's a huge force. I mean, his character is being downplayed right now. But he's responsible for a big move in society. And his voice is a voice of change. His voice is a voice of reason. And his voice is a voice that people respect. So when things do happen violently, he has the influence to change those situations in our community. So he's a person that's learned from his mistakes. And he's a person that's needed in our community because every day is a murder. And those situations need to be rectified. He has the voice and the influence to do it. And we partner with it. All of us have open arms for it, and all of us have a personal relationship with it. So we know exactly what he can do. And if given an opportunity, he'll be proud of the decision. He's a person that you will be able to say that I'm proud that I let him go. So on behalf of Pipes and on behalf of the city of Shreveport, we pray that you let him come home to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see, Mr. Mandigo, before we turn it over to Ms. Burke, is there a statement you'd like to make to the board?
Yes, with the phone situation, I just wanted to say that I was in a dark place in my life at that time. And I wanted to talk to my family because there was so much going on at that time. My nephew got killed, my grandmother passed, my brother died, and I was an addict with the phones. I mean, I take that, selling drugs, I know it was wrong, but I just want to be given a chance, a second chance to return and be a member, citizen of society and show everyone that I've hurt and show them that I can be the better man that I was 15 years ago. And I know it's a lot that I have done wrong, need to be turned into a positive note. And if y'all would grant me parole, I would not let you down.
Thank you. Ms. Burke.
I wanted to conclude very, very briefly. I know you've been waiting by just stating that I know y'all mentioned earlier that Mr. Anthony did well while he was out on release. And he and I have discussed that, as he mentioned, he considers himself to be a recovering addict. That addiction is something that you struggle with each and every day. His family members talked about while he's out, putting him in supportive programs where he will be able to get the care that he needs. They're talking about putting him in the Highland Club, which was one of the places that is 10 minutes away from his mother's home. He has community support. He has 2 places where he will be able to get employment. And members of the board, that's pretty much what I wanted to close with. I know we outlined some of those things in our letter, but I wanted to offer that to you guys.
Do you have any cards?
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Mandigo, as I stated, I enjoyed the interview. You were very enlightening. I think you personally feel that you have caught a hold of what you did and you realize how wrong it was, how many people you victimized. Are you gonna be living near Shreveport?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, my decision today will be to grant your parole with the special conditions that you go to the Shreveport Day Reporting Center and get a evaluation. Just because you had that test in 2020, I want you to go get an evaluation, follow any recommended treatment that they give you, 3 AA meetings per week, and I definitely want you to get with your sister and do 4 hours of community service a month. Our youth does, sometimes they glorify people that have had problems, but you can get out there and give them your message, and I think it will help our youth. So that's my vote today.
Mrs. Jackson?
Mr. Mandigo, the thing that really impressed me most is that I'd say you recognize the harm that your drug dealing caused to your community. And I think that's very important that you recognize that you didn't have to go through victim awareness to gain that insight. And you have, even from behind bars, been a positive force in your community. So my vote likewise is to please.
And Mr. Mandigo, I do concur. You understand the special conditions set forth by Mr. Freeman?
I heard it. I heard what he wanted me to do, but
Good. We're gonna send it to you in writing. You've been granted parole. Good luck to you, sir.
all right. All right. Thank you.